Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Becca. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Becca if we've never met before, but probably if you're clicking on this video, we have met before, I don't know. We are going to be putting together a plant stuff cart. I've got all these carts from right after my baby was born because everybody says to get these carts and like load it up with a ton of stuff. No one ever really talks about what to do with them after that phase is done, so I'm kind of just like trying to find uses for them around my house. This one is gonna be hanging out in the plant room. There's like an open space behind this shelf where I always just like shove stuff. So I'm actually going to put the things on this cart so that I can like roll it around and do plant care around my house. While I do that, I'm also going to give you an update on my channel because I feel like I've been kind of all over the place and I like to keep things organized, I really do. But right now things feel kind of all over the place and I just wanted to sort of touch base with you and see, I don't know, check the temperature of how things are. So I'm gonna kind of do this like you would a, what is it, like a refrigerator in a restaurant. You put like, some of the meats don't go on top of each other, or, right? Like you don't put chicken on top of fish or something like that. So we're gonna put the chemicals on the bottom because I've got a bunch of Jack's Dead Bug Brew and I actually go through an entire bottle for each thrips treatment, like spraying my entire collection. And it's actually like a bottle and a little bit more of another one. I really should have just bought like a big concentrate so that I wasn't buying like a bunch of these small ones. But to be honest, my mind was not fully with it when I was doing this because I was just like, I need to get rid of these things. So I don't know, I just grabbed a bunch of these. I've got this little sweeper. I've also got a repotting tarp, which I have been using a lot lately because it's just so easy to pull in and out. Got a bag of sphagnum moss. I'm gonna have the top be camera equipment. I don't want anything to fall on it. And if it's at the top, it's not gonna have anything fall on it. I have this grow light, which I could actually just put in the storage bins back here. I'm probably gonna do that because I don't know if I'm really hardly ever gonna reach for that. Nora is in this like new, really chatty phase and like, it's not that she's upset, she's just like really talkative and it's cute, but I'm like having to readjust my brain to be like, every time she makes a sound, it's not that she like needs something or is upset, she is just like talking. And I'm talking, so maybe she's trying to talk to me, I don't know. What do you think, girlfriend? She's 4 months old, so it's been lots of adjustments over here. Sleep adjustments, life adjustments. I guess I can sort of begin to talk about that. So basically, my husband went back to work last week and it was a really big wake up call for me personally because like I thought that it was hard to work while he was here and it's just like a whole nother level with him being gone because I am essentially a stay-at-home mom with a work from home job. So yeah, if you didn't know, this channel is my full-time job. I also have a vlog channel. When I had it, it took up a lot of my time. And so I don't know if you've noticed, but my uploads have been really inconsistent and I've just kind of been, yeah, exactly. A lot less consistent since the baby was born. And a lot of people have been like really, really kind. Actually, everybody has been really, really kind about it and just like, hey, take care of yourself and do what you need to do, which I so appreciate because I do tend to put a lot of pressure on myself to be, I don't know, successful and a high achiever. And the fact of the matter is, I'm at a phase in my life where I'm honestly lucky to get an hour a day where I can dedicate full time to this. Yeah, and that's a little bit hard on me, like mentally and professionally. Like I'm having a hard time adjusting to that. And we are looking into getting some sort of like in-home childcare 1 day a week so that I can just dedicate a full day to working and getting stuff done so that the rest of the week I can be with her. As I'm sure we're all aware, daycare is like super expensive and it was never something we were really considering because I am home. And I just don't think that I realized, especially with my job and not wanting to have her on camera, it is a lot harder to film when she's here and awake because now she's really chatty and like I get nervous that people are going to hear her in the background and like think that she's upset and think that I am like filming a video while my baby's crying in the background by herself. You know what I mean? It's just like all these anxieties. With all of this chaos, I'm going to drop my uploads to once a week, and I would really like to dedicate some time to my vlog channel, but I can't do that if I'm posting here twice a week. And I just, to be completely honest with you, I have so many ideas, but the execution is really hard right now. So with that, I am going to be shifting things around a little bit, but I have already been on a posting once a week schedule for a little bit over here. Like there were some weeks when I was able to do twice a week, but generally it's been once a week. That's just gonna be the best thing for me right now. And I know that everybody's gonna be okay with that, but I still feel like I should say I hope that everybody's okay with that. I want this to remain fun and don't wanna get burnt out. I don't want my video quality to be worse off. And I just think that I'll be able to put more, I don't know, like good energy into my videos if I'm not being really stressed out about having 2 videos out a week. So anyway, again, I know that I don't need to explain any of this and that everybody will be fine with that. If you want, you can follow along on my vlog channel to see possibly 2 videos a week if you follow both of my accounts. But generally, I'm just trying to keep my head above water with this big transition. I've been thinking lately, like, it was obviously super awesome that my husband got so much paternity leave, but then like I got into a groove of taking care of Nora with him, and now it's just me. And so now I'm like, oh, what do I do all day? And like, how do I balance everything? I feel like my word of this new season of life is balance. I'm trying to figure out how to do it all without overexerting myself and still feeling like a human. Let's take a quick break to talk about today's sponsor, which is Squarespace. I love using Squarespace for my online business because it is the all-in-one platform to share my business online and sell products. Currently, I'm using Squarespace for Potted Together, my podcast website, and then my personal website I'm still building, and it's been such a fun experience. I am not by any means a web developer or designer, and it is really nice just to be able to use our drag and drop templates to create really beautiful sites to share everything that I'm doing. So on Potted Together, we sell merch, so we have a shop. We also have some show notes on there from a past season that we're not really updating very much right now, but you could do it. You can also collect emails through Squarespace to do email campaigns to share about new drops for merch, or if you have exciting announcements and things like that. So if you're interested in starting a website of your own to share whatever it is that you're doing online with your business, or you want to have a portfolio or something like that, you can head to squarespace.com/BeccaDelaPlans to start your free trial. And then when you are ready to launch your website, you can use the code BeccaDelaPlans for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Anyway, that's kind of the channel update. I still very much so love my plants. Like, I know there's a lot of questions and concerns about how I would feel about my plants in this new season of life, and I love them just as much as I did before. Clearly, I am doing a huge thrips treatment right now on like 100 plants while having a baby in the midst of all of this craziness. So I do clearly very much love them, and that has not changed for me, but it is hard to shift priorities and like figure out what needs to be a priority now, and like, how do I prioritize this over that when I want to do everything at 100%. But like, I'm realizing that the only thing right now that I truly need to be 100% at is caring for Nora, and that is obviously something that I want to do, but I'm also torn between like wanting to do that and also like needing to provide for my family and needing to just like also be my own person. It's a whole thing. It's like a whole mindset shift and change that I am figuring out. And honestly, I didn't hear a ton of people talk about this, about motherhood and parenthood. And I'm happy to be that voice. I'm happy to be the person to like share that, even if I know this is a plant channel and this is not necessarily like what this content is supposed to be about, but I'm more than a plant carer. I'm also like a person. So I think it's really important that that also comes through in my videos, that there's a little bit more to life than taking care of plants, even though this is a plant channel technically. Okay, so we're gonna touch base on this shelf situation. So I have these like little containers, these little organizers, batteries, and then I have like lenses and tripod attachments and stuff like that. So I can finally get this stuff out of this pot. This all has been living in this pot on my shelf over here, and I just have hated it because like I have lenses that are expensive just like stacked on top of each other. It's really irresponsible. So I'm glad that I finally have something more secure. This plant tape is always escaping me. I do not know how. I always lose it. I always find a way to lose this stuff. So I have located it and I'm putting it on the second shelf here with my plant care stuff. That's what I've decided that this is. I thought that it was gonna be like a repotting thing, but it's actually just plant care. We're gonna go with that. I've got some little bits and bobs, these like really cute plant accessories that I have not had time to put on my stuff. So I would really like to do this. I'm gonna put these at the top here so that I remember to do it. I will probably do that maybe this week because I want to do that. They've been sitting on the shelf for so long. I would like to do it. I have a lot of empty pots because I have lost some plants just due to, you know, the postpartum period and then also this new thrips thing. So naturally, when you get a pest as intense as thrips, you're going to lose some things. And I haven't lost any of my super sentimental plants, by the way. I feel like I should mention that. I did lose a micans, which I really loved, but those are super replaceable. Actually, any plant in my collection is replaceable. That's a really relieving feeling when something like this happens. And it might take me a little bit to find it again, but it's all replaceable. But thankfully at this point, I haven't lost anything of like super high value to me. So I'm relieved about that. And actually, a lot of my plants are pushing out new leaves. My Alba Monstera is pushing out a new leaf and my Philodendron Splendid is pushing out a new leaf and it looks very big. So I'm excited about that. I think they've been enjoying the more frequent waterings because since I'm treating them, I also have the hose out, so I might as well water them. And I'm watering them like once a week right now and they seem to be really loving it. I usually water my plants like every 10 to 14 days if I'm honest. And for some of them, I think that's a little bit too long to go between waterings, but that's about what I can do right now. So this once a week situation, some of them are really loving it. Okay, now my plant folio has been somewhat deconstructed for a while because I've just been using one of these like rubber mat things randomly when I just need it for a second. So I'm gonna put this away so that I can fold up my plant folio and put it alongside this metal shelf. Now, what do I do with all of these excess pots? Because I have so many, and pots are one of those things where I'm like, I really don't want to throw them out. Well, not throw them out, but I really don't want to give them away because I feel like you can always use a pot. But at the same time, do I need to keep so many pots? Like this pot, it's so basic. Like I don't need this, but I actually, maybe this is a bad example to show because I actually like these pots for the wall because they're like a little bit bigger than a standard 4-inch pot and it also has a lip that can be attached. So this one we're gonna keep. I'm probably gonna get rid of other ones though. Like this, I don't need to keep this. This is like a really tiny pot and I am wanting to restructure the plant wall. I mentioned this before, but I want to restructure it so that there aren't as many small pots because it's just too much to keep up with. This pot is just way too small for the wall. I have decided now with a new mindset, this one's a fine size, but like no smaller than these, honestly, because I cannot keep up with the watering. So we are actually going to start a small giveaway pile for pottery. This pot, I mean, it's kind of cool, but it's always kind of given me an ick. Like if I was to be completely honest with you, I don't know why. I think I found this thrifting and there's a lot of holes on the bottom and it just makes it so that it sheds a lot of soil. And that was always really annoying. So I think I'm gonna get rid of this one too. These are always helpful, like these basic terracottas. So we're gonna keep these. This one, it doesn't have a lip and I don't really have a need for a terracotta this size. So I'm gonna get rid of this one. This one I really do enjoy, but it's kind of hard just like with the shape of this to plant stuff in it. So I might part with this one because I haven't used it in a while. I think I'm gonna part with it. This one is more of like a clay-ish material. Like it's terracotta, but it just feels like, I don't know, a little bit different, but again, same reason with this one. We gotta get rid of it. I don't know why I held on to this because I don't know what I would even use this for, so we're gonna get rid of that too. I've had these tiny square pots for years and have never found something small enough to plant in here, so we're gonna part with it and the saucers. What is this? Well, this is a bunch of C hooks. I don't know why I have a bunch of C-hooks and a random little Tupperware. I'm gonna go put this in my garage. I think that this was given to me there was like flowers inside of it, and there's no drainage hole, and it's also like a very thick pot, so I just don't see myself ever drilling a hole. And I don't really do gray, so I think we're gonna get rid of this one too. This one, Costa Farms pot, no drainage hole, no interest in drilling one, we're gonna get rid of it. And we've got some sphagnum moss. It's dry, but I'm gonna add it to my bag. Mini saucers. I'm gonna keep these. I think there's always a need for saucers, even if they're really small. This is spag, but I think I wanna toss this because I think that's like really old and it looks kind of gross. Oh, a very, very dead spider. I have not found a use for this again since I took it out of the Hoya that I was using it for, but I really don't want to get rid of it because I like this trellis. So we'll give it a little bit more time, but I just honestly, I don't know when or if I'm ever going to use this again. These are the remotes for the skylights. A few weeks after Nora was born, our skylights leaked, like a big one, and thankfully there wasn't any mold issues or anything like that, so all we had to do was replace the skylights, which was astronomical. If you think that you want skylights in your house, I'm telling you right now that you don't. They're very beautiful, but they are a huge pain and expense. Like if you have to get them repaired, I'm not kidding you, it is thousands of dollars. Thousands with an S, multiple thousands. It's very expensive. So would I recommend them? Absolutely not. They're very beautiful, but no. Giveaway. So I think that's all for this cart right now. I definitely could potentially put more on it. Like I'm thinking my shears and things like that. But I think those are currently outside with all of the plants that I'm treating right now. So I'm just gonna leave that out there for now. But I did just pare down on a lot of pots, and I'm really happy about that. That was a little bit of a point of stress for me. Except this now does not fit over here because I put this cart here. So I'm gonna have to figure out what to do with it. I've talked about this like on my vlog channel in regards to craft stuff, but oftentimes I feel like I'm just like shifting things around and like not getting rid of a ton of things because I just tend to hold on to everything. And I would really like to change that about myself. So I am on a journey to declutter my house. Again, I kind of started this before Nora was born, and then that whole madness happened. And I'm kind of like wanting to get back to it because I feel like adding another person to your house and all of their stuff just kind of makes it feel very crowded, and like there's a lot of stuff here and we need some breathing space. So maybe it is a good thing that a lot of my plants have perished in this season because I honestly don't have plans to replace them. I'm just gonna kind of work with what I have and like move things around as I feel fit, because yeah, I just don't know if I can have as big of a collection as I did in this period of time. Maybe in a few hours, not a few hours, maybe in a few years, I will be in like the over 100 club again, but honestly, it's not sounding very fun right now. Maybe if I had like 80 plants, that would be great. Some low maintenance things and like only a couple of high maintenance things. I don't know. I will say that there has been a little bit of a perspective shift as far as my plants, but I do still very much so love them. I just have a much more realistic view on what it is to take care of them, plus a baby, plus myself, plus my house, plus my husband. So it's a lot. Normally, I would find more things to do for this video so that it could be longer and maybe more fun. But honestly, I feel like this is about my capacity for what I can do for the day. And thankfully, my husband's home right now and hanging out with Nora, but he's gotta go and I gotta, you know, clock in. So thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. I really appreciate you guys watching and just being along for the ride with me as I navigate this new season. It's a wild ride, and I know that we'll get back on track eventually, but I'm not trying to rush it. These are really beautiful times and I want to just enjoy it. So thank you so much for allowing me to do that and hanging out with me whenever I'm here. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.